Good day, Marawi National High School copy readers. I am Michael Vincent P. Barba, Education Program Specialist 2 of the Schools Division of Tarlac Province, who will discuss to you the copy reading and headline writing. Before anything else, let's define first what is copy reading. So, copy reading is the art of arranging, collecting, and selecting the quality and type of news. It is also called copy editing. And one who edits copies is called a copy reader or copy editor. Copy reading is essential, especially at this time. Alam natin kung gaano ka rampant ang fake news na lumalabas sa social media and even um, in the mainstream media itself. That's why copy readers are very essential to create a factual news, factual information that can be disseminated to everyone. Narrated below are the responsibilities of a copy editor. So, a copy editor edits errors on grammars, errors on facts. The verbose copy deletes opinion and slant and libelous statements, specifically for the news articles. Make sure articles follow the newspaper style and, of course, writes the headline. So let's talk the style that we're talking about. In journalism, it refers to the fact that every time a certain term appears in a newspaper, they're spelled the same way. So the style in using a word, especially for the words that has different spellings that are acceptable in American English, kailangan maging consistent tayo dun sa style na ginagamit natin. For example, yung word na enrollment. Um, the word enrollment has two spellings. Meron yung double L, meron yung single L. But for in writing news articles, we tend to use the shorter word dahil ang rule natin sa news writing, the shorter the better. So kapag ginamit natin yung word na enrollment na single L dun sa unahan ng ating news article, kailangan all throughout dun sa article, single L lahat yung gagamitin. It also covers the use of abbreviations, titles, punctuations, and how time is mentioned. So dito na papasok yung fact na ang copy editor or ang copy reader ay marunong sumulat ng balita at ng iba pang mga um, categories. Kailangan nating malaman yung rules sa pagsulat ng different articles kasi hindi tayo makakapag copy edit, hindi tayo um, makakapag proofread ng articles kapag hindi natin alam yung rules. Kagaya nung paggamit ng mga abbreviations, kung kailan tayo gagamit ng mga abbreviations, mga titles and punctuations, kung paano sila isusulat. Now, let's have the basics of the newspaper style. Let's have first the numbers. So the numbers 1 to 9 are written in words, while the numbers 10 and above are written in figures. So we have set of examples below. 9 students. So the 9, the number 9 was written in words, and for the other example, 13 children. The number 13 was written in figures. We have here the exceptions. Dates, address, always in figures kahit 1, 2, 3 pa yan. For the proper nouns, may be written in figures or in words, depending on how it was spelled. Like the brand 7-Eleven. Beginning of sentence, always in words. So 1 to 9, kahit 1 to 9 pa yan, basta nasa beginning siya ng sentence, kailangan in word siya. Events such as first and ninth is allowed. So for the spelling, look for misspelled words. Ang mga copyreaders ay considered ng walking dictionary kasi bilang isang copyreader, kailangan alam mo lahat ng mga correct spellings ng mga words na pwede mong mabasa. So for you to become an excellent copyreader or copy editor, you should read and read. Any book, any type of book is essential. Basta makita mo yung correct spelling. Of course, especially dictionary and thesaurus. Importante na makita mo yung mga meaning ng word, kung paano siya i-spell, for you to copy edit. So here in the Philippines, American English is used. Hindi tayo gumagamit ng British English kasi kagaya dito sa example, we have the word color. So you can see the two different spellings of color. So C-O-L-O-R is an American English, while C-O-L-O-U-R is a British English. Ang ginagamit natin ay American English. If a word has more than one accepted spelling, the shortest one is preferred. So ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, doon sa word na enrollment, kagaya doon kanina. Dito, meron tayong judgment na walang E. Instead of judgment na may E, ang gagamitin mo yung shorter. For the capitalization, the first letter of the sentence is always capitalized. A very simple rule in making sentence. Tatandaan natin yon. Proper nouns are capitalized. Common nouns are not. Simple grammar rules din. So, kagaya dito, singer. A singer is a common noun. Regine Velasquez is a proper noun. Kaya nakasulat yung proper noun beginning with capital letter on each names. Dun sa singer, naka lowercase, small letter siya kasi common noun siya. Small letters are usually used for title or position. So let's have these examples. Macy Cecilia Burayag, the principal of BCIS, delivered the opening remarks. As you can see, Mrs. Cecilia Burayag, we have started the name with capital letter because this is a proper noun. The word principal started with small letter because it is a common noun. For the capitalized titles here below, Governor Umali. Ayan. So, nakakapital yung governor. So, kapag gagamit tayo ng mga position na kagaya ng Mrs. at saka yung governor, kailangan capital letter yung first letter nila. For the abbreviations, spell out the word department, government, and other abbreviations. The abbreviations junior and senior are allowed in names. A title or position of a person may be abbreviated if it appears before the name, but not if simply used in the sentence. We have here some examples. So remember, Engineer Emmanuel Delgado. As you can see, the word engineer was abbreviated because it was used before a proper noun or a name. While in the second example, Engineer Delgado, the word engineer was not abbreviated because you only used surname after the word engineer. Also here below, 12, Dimagiba Street, the word street was abbreviated. While below, Dimagiba Street, it was not specific, unlike the latter one. So, Dimagiba Street. Now, let's go to the acronyms. Acronyms are usually written in capital letters. For example, the DSWD. Check if the letters of the acronym are in the correct order, of course. Yun yung purpose natin, yun yung goal natin as copy readers. Iayos yung acronyms in their proper arrangement. When an acronym appears for the first time in a news story, it is written after its meaning and it is enclosed in parentheses. For example, University of the Philippines. And then we have here the open parenthesis, UP, and then close parenthesis. And then for the next sentences, kapag gagamitin mo ulit yung word na University of the Philippines, hindi mo na isusulat yung word na University of the Philippines. UP na lang. For the paragraph, the first sentence of a paragraph is indented. In news stories, the rule is one paragraph, one sentence only. Now, let's talk about the lead. Lead is the first sentence or the first paragraph in your news article. I said first sentence or first paragraph because our rule for news articles, we only have one sentence in a paragraph. So there should be no names of unknown persons in the lead. And check for buried leads. Ito yung isa sa mga challenges na na-encounter ng isang copy reader. Kailangang hanapin kung yung lead ay nailagay ba sa second paragraph, third paragraph, or so on. Yun yung challenge. Kailangan hanapin. So the standard lead answers the 5 W's and 1 H. Ito yung clue natin kung paano natin mahahanap yung lead. For the grammar, check for errors in tenses of verbs. Kailangan kabisado niyo yung tenses of verbs. The present, past, future, the use of past participles, the progressive tenses of verbs, the habitual tenses of verbs. So subject-verb agreement, importante yan. The pronoun antecedent agreement or the agreement in gender and numbers. And of course, the use of articles a, on, and the. Let's look at this reminder. So remember, we're going to use he said and not said he. Mauuna yung noun kaysa dun sa verb. Also, Aquino said and not said Aquino. Now let's go to the punctuations. Let's have first the period. Period is used at the end of a declarative and imperative sentences. It is used in abbreviations such as the following. Ayan, nandiyan na sa baba. And then acronyms of schools, organizations, and offices do not need periods. So hindi kailangan ng period kapag i-abbreviate ang pangalan ng school, organizations, and offices. For the comma, use comma to separate the month and day of the year, to separate the street, barangay, town, and province in an address, to separate facts concerning victims and suspects. So example, Holas Burayag, 17, of Barangay San Fernando Norte. As you can see, name was separated with a comma, and then it was added with age, and then comma, and then another information, the residence. Do not use commas to separate the abbreviation, junior, senior, or the third on the name. So example here, Emmanuel Delgado Jr. Don't put comma anymore. Para naman sa Filipino, gumamit ng kuwit sa paghihiwalay ng mga pananalitang pasalungat na pinangungunahan ng ngunit, datapwat, hindi at marami pang iba. Mayaman sila, ngunit hindi sila maligaya. Kagaya ng halimbawa dito, yung parirala o yung pangungusap bago yung salitang ngunit ay ihiniwalay gamit ang kuwit. For the colon and semicolon, use colons when presenting a series of information and use semicolons to separate components of the series. Tignan natin dito. Elected officers of the Board of Elders are, merong colon. Kasi isineparate niya yung um, series of information. At ito yung series of information. Dr. Arturo Gina, mga pangalan, and then president, and then semicolon kasi ito na yung components nung series of information. For the hyphen, use hyphen in most compound nouns, just like editor-in-chief, officer-in-charge, in fractions with the 2/3, 3/4, and in English, in numerals, we have 22, 55, 59. Sa Filipino naman, gumamit ng gitling kapag ang isang tanging ngalan ay inuunlapian. Kagaya dito, Maka Estrada, may gitling. Taga, Kabanatuan. Pam, Bagong Taon. Gumamit ng gitling sa pagitan ng unlaping ika at tambilang o oras. Kagaya dito, ika-7 ng Agosto, ika-3:35 ng madaling araw. Sa mga salitang ang kayarian ay inuulit, kagaya ng kabi, kabila. So the use of hyphen and dash is different. So for dash, use a dash between two figures to indicate inclusion of all intervening figures. Kagaya dito, avoid daw natin ito from August 15 to 30. Yung word na to, instead na gamitin yung word na to, gamitin natin yung dash. So we have the quotation marks. Quotation marks are used in direct quotations. Indirect quotations do not need them. So tatandaan natin, direct quotations lang ang gagamit ng quotation mark. I forgot it, he said. Yun yung direct quotation. Kaya gumamit siya ng open and close quotation marks. And as you notice, I forgot it is one sentence. Pero bakit comma yung nandun? Because we used it in a direct quotation. At nilagay natin siya sa loob ng quotation mark. So kapag isang sentence yan, declarative or imperative, lagyan natin ng comma. Hindi tuldok. Kasi ang tuldok niya doon sa pagkatapos nung he said. Dito naman, he said he forgot it. Wala siyang quotation mark kasi isa siyang indirect quotation. Nauna kasi yung ating subject and then verb and then a transition. Periods and commas are written first before closing quotation marks. So yun na nga, periods and commas. Also, quotation marks are used to set off an alias or nickname. Kagaya dito, Ramon Bong Revilla Jr., yung word na Bong, yung kanyang nickname, inilagay sa loob ng open and close quotation mark. Juan Chua alias Boysing Kit, mga ganyan. We do not use quotation marks to set off titles of events, shows, movies, books, and others. Example, we watched The Titanic, yung title ng movie na The Titanic, hindi na natin siya ilalagay sa loob ng quotation mark. But, we watch Walang Hanggan, nilagyan natin ng quotation mark kasi gumamit tayo ng foreign word. In English, Walang Hanggan is a foreign word because this is a Filipino word. So gagamit tayo ng quotation mark to emphasize that we are using a foreign word. Let's have the apostrophe. In English, apostrophes are used in the possessive form of noun. The teacher's table, the teacher's meeting. Apostrophes are used in contractions. Example, I'm instead of using I am, or you're, we're using you are. So I'm going to show you some sets of copy editing symbols. So what you're seeing is for the first table, we have the symbol, next the instruction, and then the example. So let's have this one. Kung napapansin niyo para siyang L na mahaba um, yung pahigang linya. This means that um, the instruction is to indent or set in new paragraph. So, nagamit natin yung example doon. The student, yung word na the kasi hindi siya naka-indent. So, kapag nilagyan mo ng ganyan, ang ibig sabihin niyan, ang instruction mo ay i-indent. Some copy reading symbols, we have different sets or different versions of copy reading symbols. All of those are allowed to use. Pwede ninyong gamitin. Lahat ng mga copy reading symbols na naaral ninyo or na-research ninyo. Basta gamitin ninyo on its proper instruction. This is another version of sets of copy reading symbols. And this is the continuation. Also, this one is another set, another version of sets of copy reading symbols. Now, for the reminders, always delete editorializing words and phrases, specifically for news articles. Example, the very beautiful and intelligent principal. Alin dyan yung editorializing words or phrases? Yung very beautiful and intelligent because that is an opinion. The cops were right in arresting. So that phrase or that sentence is signifying an editorializing phrase or sentence because you're giving your own side of the story. Hindi pwedeng magbigay ng mga pangungusap na kagaya nito dahil wala kang basis. Hindi ka nagpe-present ng factual information. Also, check for redundancies. Example, the concert ended, so may redundant na doon. At the back of the rear, yung back at saka rear, same lang. Advanced planning, ask a question, repeat again. So yung advanced planning, kaya ka nga nagpaplano kasi isang advanced action yon. Ask a question, kaya pwede namang question lang, repeat again. So yung word na repeat, parang ulitin, tas again, uulitin na naman. Now, ito yung tatandaan natin. After editing the news story or any article, write 30 at the end of the article. And then, if the article is not yet finished, write more at the bottom of the page. Take note that the number 30 was written and encircled. Kagaya din sa more, encircled din yung word na more. Mga paalala naman sa Filipino, wasdong paglalapi ng pandiwa. So eto, pansinin natin yung mali dito. Nagdala ang mga bangkay ng mga biktima sa Gospel Memorial Homes. So ano yung mali doon sa pangusap? Pansinin natin yun, oh. Nagdala ang mga bangkay. So may mali na doon. So, imbis na gamitin yung nagdala, kailangan gamitin mo ay dinala. Kasi nag-iba yung ibig sabihin niya nung iba ang ginamit mong panlapi doon sa pandiwa. Panlaping nag. Susunod, wastong gamit ng dito at rito, din at rin. Gagamitin natin yung rito kapag ang sinusundan niyang letra sa salita ay a, e, i, o, u. Kasama ang uh, W at Y. Wastong gamit ng sa at kay, wastong gamit ng ang, si, ni, at wastong gamit ng nang na mahaba yung NANG at nang na maiksi yung NG. Now let's talk about the headline. Headline is an assemblage of words written in bigger, bolder letters than the usual page text at the beginning of the news. It is not called a title. Title is different from a headline. Here's an example of a newspaper, and all of the encircled words are called headlines. The functions of headline are the following. Number one, to attract readers. Number two, to tell the story in a summary. Number three, to add variety of type. Number four, to identify personality of newspaper. And the last one is to index or grade the news. So here are some pointers in headline writing. First, read the story for general meaning. Siyempre, kailangan mo muna basahin yung kwento. Paano ka makakasulat ng headline kung hindi mo alam yung nilalaman ng article? Clues to the headline are usually in the lead. So yung headline, usually, nabubuo siya sa pamamagitan ng pagtukoy ng lead at pagbabasa ng lead, pag-intindi ng lead. Ito yung mga tanong na pwede nating maging guide questions para makabuo tayo ng headline. What happened? Who did what? How did it happen? In writing a headline, use the shortest words possible. Example, cop instead of using policeman. Kasi mula doon sa policeman ang haba, cop, tatlong letters lang. Nab, arrest, mishap, accident, up, increase, down, decrease, thief, robber. Next, heavy subject and a verb. Avoid starting with a verb. The headline might sound as if it were giving orders. So instead of writing revised money mart guidelines, kasi magtutunog imperative sentence siya, nag-uutos. Gawin mo siyang central bank revises money mart guidelines. Nauna yung who, and then what, and then yung object of the sentence. Also, use the historical present tense if the verb is in the active voice, kagaya dito. Reyes stopped editorial tilt. Makukonsider siyang mali. Instead of writing that type, ganito ang gawin natin. Reyes stops editorial tilt. Sabihin na natin, oo, tapos na yung event. Pero for the headline, kailangan maging active voice siya. Pag sinabing active voice, kailangan present tense yung verb na gagamitin. So, pansinin natin yung verb dito sa correct headline. Tops. Reyes, tops. Yung Reyes, isang singular noun. Kaya ang gagamitin nating verb natin ay may S. Subject-verb agreement. Always remember to omit the helping verb if the verb is in the passive voice. Only the past participle is retained. Pansinin natin ito. Drug pushers are nab. This is a correct declarative sentence. Pero hindi tayo gumagawa ng declarative sentence. Gumagawa kasi tayo ng headline. Kaya instead na gamitin mo yan, kapag past participle ang gagamitin mo, kailangan matatanggal yung R. So, drug pushers, nab. Use the infinitive for future events. Eto, tignan natin. City Hall will punish anti-squatting drive. Meron siyang word na will. Bawal yan sa headline. Instead na ganyan, palitan natin yung will ng to. So, basta future tense, yung will, papalitan natin ng word na to. Pati yung shall. Palitan natin ng word na to. Ito yung correct. City Hall to punish anti-squatting drive. Do not use a period at the end of a headline. So, parang title din siya, wala siyang period. Omit articles, tanggalin yung mga a and the. So, dito, a fire hits Tondo slum area. Kaya, mali siya kasi meron siyang article. At yung article dyan ay a. So, ang correct, fire hits Tondo slum area. Also, use a comma instead of and in writing headlines. So, lahat ng word na and sa headline, kailangan tanggalin, palitan ng comma. Tignan natin itong example. Delays, confusion, bug, ASHAD. So, instead na nilagyan niya ng and, tinanggal niya yung and, nilagyan niya ng comma. Ito pa. Lacson, Trillanes, no-show at Sona. Use semicolon to separate sentences. So, eto. Pansinin natin to. Gina Lopez heads Pasig body. Noy swears in 35 other execs. Dalawa siyang sentences, dalawang idea. So, parang paghiwalay, gamit tayo ng semicolon. Also, use the punctuation marks, especially the exclamation point spiraling. Madalang tayong gumagamit ng exclamation mark sa isang headline. Use single quotes in headlines instead of double quotes. Always give the source of a quote. Quotation marks are not necessary. A dash or colon will serve the purpose. Pansinin natin to. Crackdown on errant bus firms. Mayroon siyang dash. Tapos sinabi niya Enrile. Ang ibig sabihin nito, si Enrile yung nagsabi nung crackdown on errant bus firms. Ito din. Enrile, tas may colon. Crackdown on errant bus firms. Ganon din yung ibig sabihin niyan. Sinabi ni Enrile yung crackdown on errant bus firms. So, use the down style. Only the first word and proper nouns are capitalized unless otherwise indicated. This is more readable because people are used to reading sentence this way. So, sa mga headlines, ang style natin, ang standard style or yung most common style ay yung paggamit ng down style. Pag sinabing down style, yung first word lang at yung mga proper nouns yung nakakapitalize. Tignan natin to. Example, faculty honors Nunez. Yung word na faculty nakakapitalize yung letter F kasi siya yung first word sa headline. Yung honors, small letter kasi verb siya. Nunez is a noun. Apelyido ng isang tao kaya nakakapitalize. Don't use names unless the person is well known. So, ganun din sa mga abbreviations. Use common nouns instead. So, dito, Santos electrocuted. So, ginamit niya yung apelyidong Santos at napakadaming Santos. At hindi naman natin may specify. At saka hindi naman siya common. Hindi siya familiar. So, ang gagamitin natin, ano ba yung trabaho niya? Bakit siya na-electrocute? Kagaya dito. Carpenter. Carpenter electrocuted. Tapos doon nasasabihin sa other details sa news article kung ano talaga yung kumpletong pangalan niya. Use specific terms instead of generalities. Pansinin natin to. Trader killed. Mas maganda siya kapag trader stabbed to death. Mas specific yung nangyari. Instead na sabihin lang niyang killed, sinabi kung ano yung process, stabbed to death. Always remember to just report the facts and do not editorialize. So kagaya dito, malitong Noy gives inspiring talks. Instead, or yung the word na inspiring, isa na siyang opinion. So be positive and don't use negatives in headlines. They weaken not only the headlines but also the stories. So we're done with the headlines. Now let's talk about the directions to the printer or the printer's direction. So as you can see, merong mga nakabox dito. So, yung box dito sa tabi ng headline, tapos yung naka-slant na box, tapos yung naka-box dun sa pinakababa ng article. So, yan yung ilan sa mga kailangan nating ilagay for the printer's direction. Now, let's talk about the printer's direction for the headline. So as you can see here, meron tayong nakasulat dito na na-encircle 18 points times New Roman bold, 1 column, and 20 M's. Let's define the meaning of the content of the printer's direction for the headline. So for the 18 points, this is the font size or the point na gagamitin. So ginagamit itong printer's direction kapag ikaw na copy ay ipapasa mo na sa layout artist. Ipapasok na niya doon sa newspaper. So tayo, bilang mga copy tayo may responsibility kung saan, anong size mo siya isiset. Times New Roman bold, yun yung font or type ng font na gagamitin. 1 column, number of columns na gagamitin para doon sa headline. 20 M's is the number of characters. So later on, we're going to talk about the number of characters on the unit counts. So dito, malalaman nyo kung ilang M's or yung number of characters na ilalagay or na ilalagay natin para dito sa printer's direction. Meron din tayong printer's direction for the body. So, kagaya nung headline kanina, naka-encircle din siya, pero meron siyang bracket na nasasakupan yung buong article. And then nakapatagilid siya, hilig siya, at ito yung nilalaman. 11 points for the font size or points of the body text. Times New Roman for the font or type. 1 column, number of columns that will be used. 11 M's, this is the number of characters. And then, meron siyang nakasulat na text to which the printer's direction will be. Kasi ito ay printer's direction for the body text. Now, for the unit counts. A count system considers differences in the widths of letters. For the capital letters, meron tayong MOW. Ang sukat nun ay 2 units. And then JLIFT, 1 unit kasi mas payat sila. And then, ito kasi kinoconsider, depende doon sa taba at saka doon sa payat nila na mag-a-appear bilang characters. And others, lahat ng hindi nabanggit dyan, 1.5 units. For the small letters naman, M and W, wala ng O, 1.5 units. JLIFT, 1.5 unit, and others, 1 unit. Unit counts for some characters like punctuation marks. We have the dash, 1.5 units, question mark, 1 unit, and others, kagaya ng exclamation mark, period, comma, and others, 1/2 unit. For the number digits, 0 to 9, 1 unit. Space is also counted with 1 unit. So we have here an example of unit counts. So let's see this headline. BCIS bags medals in NEPESA Quiz B. So BCIS is counted, bags is counted, and it has a total of 11.5 units, medals in 10 units. For the continuation, NEPESA 11.5 units, Quiz B 7.5 units, with a total of 40.5 units. So I hope I have shared some important information that you need for your school-based press conference. And do your best in doing your output because we are going to choose here the participants for the upcoming cluster-wide press conference. Good luck and thank you so much for listening.